When Officer Travis McAllister arrived in the quiet Louisiana town of Dunham Springs, he brought with him a presence that felt like safety. He was the kind of officer every town hoped for: 26, fresh-faced, crisp uniform, polite tone, and a calm, unshakable demeanor. Mothers said they felt safer knowing he was on patrol. Shopkeepers called him the kind of young man who made you proud of the next generation. In his first year alone, he was credited with saving a toddler from a locked car during a summer heat wave, assisting in the recovery of a missing teenager, and calmly talking a knife-wielding man down outside a bar. He was smart, likable, and always just a little bit mysterious. No one knew much about his past, but no one asked either, because Travis made you feel like you didn't need to. But by the time the truth surfaced, it was already too late. Far too late. In early 2024, a cold case unit in Phoenix, Arizona reopened several unsolved sexual assault cases from the mid-2010s. One particular case from 2014 stood out. A 28-year-old night shift nurse named Julia Haskins had been abducted from a hospital parking lot. Her body was found days later in a desert ditch. Signs of struggle. Evidence of sexual assault. No suspects. The case had gone cold. But now, through advancements in DNA processing, her rape kit revealed a strong, viable profile. When the system ran the DNA, it didn't match anyone directly. But it flagged something else. A close familial match with someone recently added to a national database of law enforcement officers. That person was Travis McAllister. Investigators first assumed it was a relative, maybe a brother. But McAllister had no known male relatives. No brothers, no uncles, no cousins. Suspicion took root. If he wasn't a match by blood, then perhaps he was the match himself. But McAllister had never been arrested, never charged. His DNA wasn't in Cody's. In some states, rookie officers aren't required to submit samples unless they're involved in misconduct or an internal investigation. It was a loophole that let him slip through unnoticed. Until now. The FBI stepped in discreetly. A small team followed McAllister for days. They retrieved a used water bottle and a gym towel from his squad car. The lab results returned within 2 weeks. He wasn't just a match for Julia Haskins. He matched 4 other murders across 3 states: New Mexico, Texas, and Arizona. All young women. All sexually assaulted. All strangled. The killings took place between 2013 and 2017, before he became a cop. And then, just as suddenly as they started, they stopped. Investigators now believe they know why. Because in 2017, McAllister applied to the Louisiana Police Academy. He passed every background check, sailed through his psychological exam, graduated top of his class. He wasn't trying to escape justice. He was trying to camouflage himself in it. He didn't stop killing because he felt guilt. He stopped because he found a better hiding place. The badge. The uniform. The perfect cover. By the time the FBI moved in, Travis was deeply embedded in the community. He hosted safety briefings at elementary schools, volunteered at weekend food drives, coached youth baseball, and on the day he was arrested, he was directing school traffic in front of Dunham Springs Elementary, wearing a bright yellow vest and smiling at children as they crossed the street. When agents approached, he showed no fear, no confusion. He calmly removed his service weapon, handed it over, and smiled. "Took you long enough," he said. At FBI headquarters, Travis waived his right to an attorney. Over 6 hours, he described each killing in haunting detail: where it happened, what the victims wore, how they begged. He remembered their names, their faces, even the songs playing on his radio. He described how he cleaned the scenes, how he avoided cameras, how he selected towns small enough that a stranger wouldn't stand out. He even volunteered during the interview that he had watched coverage of his own crimes. "You missed a lot," he said flatly. "You always do." He admitted to 5 murders, but hinted at more. "You're only scratching the surface," he whispered. "You haven't even looked at Nevada." Court records later revealed that Travis had volunteered for cold case filing duties at his department, a detail that still sends chills down the spine of detectives nationwide. He didn't just kill. He monitored his own trail. He scanned his file numbers. He looked over his own shoulder through someone else's desk. When the trial began, it was standing room only. Family members of the victims filled the benches. Many had never gotten closure until now. The prosecution presented his confessions, forensic evidence, and timeline analysis. Jurors wept as they listened to him casually describe the terror he inflicted. One detective broke down on the stand as he admitted that he once invited McAllister to his home for dinner, with his wife and teenage daughters present. Travis never blinked. He showed no emotion, no remorse. Just the same faint smile. He was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to 5 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. And still, just before being led away in shackles, he leaned into the microphone and said 2 words that reignited a national firestorm: "Check Nevada." Within weeks, a 2015 cold case in Henderson, Nevada, a missing woman named Rachel Dwyer, was reopened. She'd vanished while driving home from a night class. Her car was found unlocked. Her phone left behind. Authorities are now working to connect the dots. The aftermath of the McAllister case was swift and devastating. Public trust in law enforcement was shaken to the core. News outlets dubbed him the Badge Butcher. The story gripped the nation, not because it was just another serial killer, but because of how well he hid and how many people believed in him. He wasn't a monster in the shadows. He was a man in plain sight, whose hand you shook, whose face you smiled at, whose name was printed on school flyers and community outreach banners. Legislators introduced new bills requiring DNA collection from all law enforcement applicants. Police academies overhauled their psychological screenings. Departments created internal monitoring systems to flag suspicious patterns, even among their own. But for many, these measures came too late. Because for years, Travis McAllister had walked among them. Trusted, celebrated, protected. Some of his fellow officers quit the force. Others fell into depression. One senior officer reportedly checked into a psychiatric hospital after realizing that McAllister once held his infant daughter. Another left a note on his locker the day he resigned: "I looked up to him. God help me, I still can't believe it." McAllister now sits in a maximum security prison under 24-hour observation. He's never written an apology, never asked for forgiveness. When a journalist mailed him a question asking if he felt remorse, he replied with a single sentence: "Remorse is for the caught. I was never supposed to be." And that's what makes this story so haunting. Travis McAllister didn't just kill. He planned. He adapted. He studied the very system meant to capture men like him, and then he joined it. He didn't use the shadows. He used the spotlight. He didn't flee the law. He became it. Let us know in the comments. Do you believe Travis McAllister would have ever confessed if not caught by DNA? Or would he still be shaking hands, patrolling your street, a killer in plain sight?